Hello, everyone. Welcome back to season 5 of the SPIMA Council podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm a second year and I'm one of the co-hosts for this season. Today, joining me, we have president of the SPIMA Council and former podcast co-host Jackson Pretley, who is in his 4th year now, as well as Mia Redders as our guest today. So I'll throw it over to Jackson to introduce our guest.
Perfect. Thank you, Dylan. Thanks for having me back. It feels good to be back on the PodSquad. So, on today's episode, we do have Mia Rudders, who is currently a creator for Hockey Night in New England, the Sports Girls Club, and the host of her own hockey podcast. She's currently attending Northeastern University for a bachelor's degree in digital communication and media multimedia after studying a year of child development at Merrimack College. We are pleased to welcome Mia as our third guest here on the SPIMA Council podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome.
Yeah, we'll jump right in. So, we clearly see you have an interest in sport media. So, what drew you into this industry, and what is your dream job to achieve in the future?
Oh gosh. Okay. So I love sports and I also love media. As you guys know, I was like a quote influencer. So I've always loved to make content, and then I fell in love with hockey and I found out that you can combine the two, and that was just like this crazy moment for me, and I was like, I can actually do what I'm good at and what I love. Dream job wise would definitely be to work for the New Jersey Devils and hopefully like contribute my creativity, my ideas, and like my dedication to enhance like the players' stories and just the sport itself. I'm very big on like making players humanized and sharing that to followers, because I feel like you really get this different attachment and this different like emotional relationship when you actually see the player as a person rather than just like number 13 or number whatever. So that's my goal.
Solid. So what if you're in, hockey at night in New England, what made you want to do Devils instead of Bruins?
Oh, I get asked this a lot. I love both. I have my pasta and Marsh. I have everybody up there. I have a little Bergeron pop, Funko Pop. I love both teams. It's just the Devils, I feel like I can connect with a lot more since they're our age. And meanwhile, the Bruins, it's a little bit older. Like, and the Devils, they're newer. So there's not as many positions and people doing what I'm doing, like making a podcast about it. And especially being a woman, like there's like nobody. So it's kind of just a better I don't want to say community. I just want to say like, no, I don't know what to say.
I mean, no, fair. I get what you're saying. Like, especially as many more men in the positions of media and management and everything in sports industry. So as a young female in the sport industry, what motivates you to continue just breaking barriers and trying to get through?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you guys mentioned I work for Sports Girls Club. Their whole thing is about like bringing women into the world of sports. And it's just it's so important because we're really making an impact like on the ice, on the field, whatever, wherever any of our girls are going. And like you said, it's really motivating because I can change like the stereotypes and challenge them, and it also inspires others. I've had so many girls come to me and say like, I got into hockey because of you. Like I joined a club team. I've had people say that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, really? That's crazy. And I just really like seeing a more inclusive sports industry. I think it's a really powerful motivator.
Sorry, I guess my Wi-Fi a little glitch there. So, my next question was just going to be, so what has been the most helpful sport media experience that you've encountered in your young career so far?
Oh gosh, I have two. Does that count? Is that
Yeah,
okay?
go for it.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So one, I got to work with Jeremy Swayman, who that was my first ever like experience with an actual player, and it was amazing. He was so down to earth. I was nervous, and he sat with me and he literally talked to me and he was like, "You're doing good. Like you're doing fine. Like it's so nice to meet you." He was so great, and he just kind of taught me like not even taught me. He told me that I was doing good and I was a little bit different than other media creators that like follow him around with a camera in his face. So it was kind of validating for him to say that. So that was very helpful to me. And also being able to experience an event from not a fan's point of view. So that was obviously very helpful. And then the second one was actually just the other day. I was in New Jersey. I was at the New Jersey Devils arena at the stadium, and I got to attend a women in sports conference, and I got to hear a bunch of amazing women talk, and it was amazing. We had like the head, like the general manager, not, I know like they're not girls, but there's somebody up there that's a female. We got to hear from Kim Davis, who works like very, very high up in just the NHL. We got to hear from a woman named Jillian, who's the head of marketing. So it was very interesting, and they had amazing tips and amazing things to say. And I also got to meet a lot of great girls. Like I have so many new friends now in the hockey industry. So they're probably tied, I have to say, those two. Oh, and I got to go in the tunnel and see the players. So that was fun.
For New Jersey?
Yes.
Oh wow, must have been special.
We got VIP. You got to walk a red carpet and everything. And they only picked some of us. I was like,
Wow. Even more validating to get VIP named, I guess.
literally shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're just completely jetting through these questions. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
You can just
But
talk.
yeah, we're pumping everything out. So speaking on the experiences, what have been your favorite sport experience as a fan?
As a fan, the tunnel. I don't want to admit this because I have met a lot of celebrities throughout my career, like Ian Somerhalder, Candace King. I've met a lot of people, and I've never been nervous ever. I'm very chill when it comes to that. I was shaking, and I might have shed a tear after. It was like, it was just crazy seeing them in real life. It's just, I have never been to a real hockey game, which is shocking. Like, no, I know no one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I watched them all on the TV. I was saving it for a Devils game. And unfortunately they did lose, but it's okay. And so going to that game after meeting them was the craziest experience of my entire life. Like the energy there was crazy. You were hugging everyone around you when they scored. Like even if you didn't know them, there were these fun games. It was just the best experience ever. And when I came back, my parents asked me, they were like they got all nervous. They were like, please tell us this made you like hockey even more. Like they were nervous I would back away. I was like, this just made me want to spend my entire paycheck every time on hockey games. Like this is not good, but yeah, it was really, really, really magical. So that was my favorite fan one.
Yeah, I think episodes ago we talked about how hockey is such like a unionizer, and it brings complete random strangers together, high-fiving, hugging everybody in a 20,000 seat filled arena that, you never would have thought that you'd ever be with like somebody in this kind of situation before, and you never would have met them if you didn't go out to a game like that. So that's crazy that it's even your first one as a hockey content creator now.
No, yeah. And I was all the way in the back, like at the tippity top, the last possible seat, and I could still see everything. You could hear the sticks on the ice. Like it was like, I can't even imagine what it's like to be down, like right behind the glass. I would probably die. Like, so it was definitely magical, the fact that everyone could experience such a crazy game, and like no matter where you're sitting, and you just said like all these people are there, so the fact that everybody gets like a clear view and gets to experience it is very cool.
So was it different than you thought it'd be? Like, did you not think you'd be able to like hear everything from the top? You thought it'd be like more of separation?
So I didn't know where I was even sitting. I didn't really care.
Okay.
You could have me outside in the like parking lot and I wouldn't even have complained. But it was different. I remember when it started, I looked at the girl next to me because she had been to a bunch of games. And I go, wait, so you don't hear like the announcers? Like you don't hear anybody say anything? And she was like, no, you just have to like say it in your head. I was like, okay. So that was a little like, that threw me off. It was a little awkward and silent. But I loved how like during commercial breaks there are games. I didn't know that. I always wondered what they did during. And I know that sounds so dumb, but like I'd never been to a game, okay? So it was fun. There were so many games, and there were like these cameras, and they were showing all these babies that were there on the big screen, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of like inside jokes with the arena. Like there was this one girl who they kept showing because she was just going crazy, and everybody was chanting like "Bring her back." So it was like everybody there has an inside joke now and knows that joke, and I think that's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, it's funny. I never would have thought that, like, I guess somebody that hasn't gone to a game before didn't know, what goes on in commercial. Like, my first game, I was maybe like 8 months old, and I grew up going to Sens games and everything. So it really hasn't crossed my mind, I guess, that there's a whole, amount of people that don't know what goes on during the commercial breaks, that there's no play-by-play being, played over the loudspeaker, because there kind of is at basketball games.
Yeah,
Which
that's what I'm thinking.
it's kind of weird now that I think about it. Like, they completely, oh, Lowry with the three type of thing just coming out, but then there's nothing at hockey really at all other than the announcer, the PA announcer after like a goal or a penalty or things.
Yeah, exactly. They said power play and then goal. And
Yeah.
that was it. Like the rest was on you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to miss anything. But I guess it's fun, but I kind of understand now why some people get nervous, like get into hockey, because if you go to a game and you know nothing about hockey, let me tell you, I would have gone right out. I would have left. But like since I knew about it, I could follow along. But I guess maybe my tip to everybody is to learn and then go to a game.
So actually, that comment kind of, I just had a question for you. I'm gonna switch up the second question a little bit, but how, because a lot of people like in Canada, hockey's their main sport. So like in the States, I know hockey's kind of maybe football is a lot bigger, and then depending on where you are in the States, basketball might be bigger. But like, how did you find your love and passion for hockey, and that's how you want, and that's the sport you want to work in?
So I was going through okay, well, first of all, I'm in Boston.
Okay.
So no matter what, you have to love every sport, even if you know nothing about it. Like I love the Red Sox. I cannot name a single player on the Red Sox. Like you just have to love all the teams. So obviously I loved the Bruins. We had like Bruins dress up days back in school. Like I've seen some games on TV growing up. But I was going through a really, really, really tough time. Um, and I needed something to distract myself. And I didn't want it to be something that I was comfortable with or that I was used to. And I had always loved like watching hockey, but I never knew what was going on. So I was like, I'm gonna learn hockey just for fun, just to pass my time, just oh my gosh, just to distract myself. And then I realized I loved it like bad. It went from just like watching every game to writing every game in a planner to making a podcast, and then I was in too deep. So definitely it was kind of a coincidence. I mean, if I sorry, hadn't gone through that tough time, then I would not be here. So definitely because of that. And I'm actually glad that it happened, because now I found something I'm so passionate about.
No, and that's good. Good on you, because I know like a lot of like students at Brock, they always talk about like they're not sure what sport they want to work in, and like I think like just like hearing how like somebody like yourself who's very passionate about hockey, like how you found it could like maybe like help a student along like down the
Oh,
road, be like, oh, like this is how like she got into hockey, so like I can try this, like
yeah,
because
and
everyone has their own sport passion. So
yeah, and that's why I started my podcast too, because so many people were coming to me and saying like, I don't know how to get into hockey, and I don't want to ask, no offense, I don't want to ask a boy, because they're just gonna like be jerks about it most of the time. I'm sorry, but like even when I first was getting into it, I was asked constantly, name 5 players, like every time, and I was like, can you just say cool? Like so I started my podcast for that reason. And like the first couple of episodes I talked about like the history of hockey, and then I talked about the teams and like how the game actually works and all of that, and people are able to learn from that, which is, I want to pat myself on the back for that one. But yeah, so that's, yeah, I agree 100% with everything you just said. It can be hard to get into hockey, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good to hear that in such like a rough spot that there was, some shining light to kind of bring you into such a great world too. There really couldn't have been much of a better sport to get into. So in my opinion, at least. But speaking, getting into your career, where do you see the future of your career in sport media and just sport media in general within the next 5 years?
So for me, obviously, I want to be working with the Devils, or any team, honestly, but the Devils would be a dream. Like I mentioned earlier, I want to be a different type of like content creator for them, rather than just like taking pictures, I want to actually humanize them. Like I was telling you, like with Sway, I don't know if you guys saw, but I posted a lot of videos and pictures of him like just being him, like him joking
Right.
about how like he has bad angles and how he like was so tired he just wanted to like walk away. Like funny things like that make you like a player more. Like we were talking about off camera, we were talking about Connor Bedard and how he doesn't like the attention, and like that's humanizing because we're learning about him and we're learning like he's uncomfortable, he's awkward, he just wants to shine on the ice instead of the camera. And that is something I find so interesting. It's like they are people, they're not just little numbers shooting a puck. And like with my career, I definitely want to make that a priority. And then in the next 5 years, I think that there will be a lot of changes with like obviously technology, different streaming. I think there will be a lot of like way more enhanced fan engagements. And obviously we have the rise of social media and influencers. So I'm sure there are going to be a lot more women, men, whoever that are going to do what I'm doing, which is going to be cool. I also think that they're going to change like traditional broadcast models maybe and give like a more personalized and immersive experience. I think that would be very cool. I also think that virtual reality might play into it a little bit. I feel like that would also be sick. Um, yeah, that's what I see. I hope that social media will play a really pivotal role in engaging fans. That's like the main thing that I hope will happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, even going back to like what we were saying before, the NBA is just so they have so much more than the NHL does. Like you say VR. I remember like over the pandemic, like I had like a VR thing, and even in the bubble, it had like something where it was you're pretty much courtside with your VR and you were able to see everything. I'm sure it'd be so easy just to put, a camera, a 360 camera right between the benches, like where Ray Ferraro sits and everything, and just put it there, VR headset, you can see you're in the game. I don't know why the NHL is so far behind every other sport when it comes to pretty much everything.
It's
Um,
frustrating.
It
It's
is.
really
yeah,
especially because it's like it's such a fun sport and you want people to like listen to you and try it out, but
yeah.
then we don't have stuff that like other sports have, so it's just like
It's so much more unpopular too. Like it's just to get like it's so fast. If you can be ice level, it's crazy. Like I know the Sens, I can't remember the year. I want to say it was like 2016 or 2017. Ottawa had just gotten a bunch of like millions of immigrants coming in, and then the Sens took like a bunch of people that have never been to a hockey game before to a Sens game and sat them like in a whole section, like it was like 2,000 new Canadians, just at the 100s, and it was so fast. And I remember seeing like the interviews and everything after, of just everyone saying how much fun it was and they've never seen anything quite like that. So I think people just really need to get into the sport, get, not necessarily ice level, but ice level is definitely cool and you can see how fast it is, just to get them into the sport.
I 100% agree with that. I think it would be so cool if we had even like you were mentioning just VR, like even if we can't fit all everybody in the rink like area, but I would spend good money on VR that could
Yeah.
experience that. That would be very, very cool.
Perfect. And then I always like to ask like people this question who are so passionate about sports. I always asked this last year. So Stanley Cup final prediction. I know we're about 2 weeks in. Who you got?
That's really hard because I don't want to admit anything. No, I don't think so. I'm sorry.
They're first place right now.
I know, but see, this is the one thing about being a girl that I mean, I'm sure men do this too, but it's like the heart is like screaming and it's
Yeah,
like say the Bruins and
100%.
the Devils, but it's like that's not gonna happen, let's be for real. Um,
Number one, Ottawa.
okay,
Hey,
yeah.
Detroit's two. We're there.
What happened to the Bruins?
They're four.
No, I'm saying last season.
Oh,
So that's what I'm saying.
listen, they're not chokers though. The Sens are actually a good team.
Just don't goodbye. No, I'm kidding. Just don't be too confident. Knock on some wood. Okay. Preseason for the Devils. they were undefeated. So and I know they choked to like one or two of these first 3 games. I know they did. Okay, I know.
We're comparing preseason to the Stanley Cup Finals. That's crazy.
I
When
have faith.
AHL player, when little Jim Johnson, the 18-year-old from Saginaw, is playing in an NHL game who hasn't played it since the East Coast.
Okay, let me be. I have faith. I have faith in the Devils. I mean, we have Toffoli now. We lost a couple, but I have faith. So I want to say the Devils. And then I don't even. That's hard.
West is hard.
Because I don't even like obviously I know all the teams, but it's like I don't even know like how everybody's doing or how they did in the past. Because like I'm not counting this season so far because obviously the Devils would not be there. Sorry guys.
I think Vegas is going back to back. That's my hot take this year. I don't know.
What's your hot take?
Vegas is going back to back. They're at least getting to the finals. I think they're going to be the best out of the West.
You
I
think
think
so?
Dallas gets them. I think Dallas gets them this year.
Really?
Dallas? I don't know. I don't trust Dallas.
I kind of feel like Vegas would be a little bit sorry. But
I
like
like Eichel too much. I love Jack Eichel.
Let's have Colorado in there too.
Colorado, Alex Gorgiev is not taking the Colorado Avalanche to the Stanley Cup final.
yeah, no, I'm so sorry. I really disagree. But you have Wood right now?
Colorado, I think so.
Miles Wood?
Yeah, Miles Wood. Woody.
Why would that be a determining factor?
No, I'm not saying. No, he's not.
I can't remember Miles Wood to score Game 7 goal.
Miles Wood does play for Colorado.
I was just asking, like, didn't he get? Because I know we lost him, and I didn't know if it was
You're right. He
Colorado.
made 27 points in 76 games last year. That should really be the difference maker for,
he
for
actually
Colorado
could
there.
win the Stanley Cup by himself. Actually, Miles Wood versus the Devils.
Is Jackson's Wi-Fi gone? Jackson! Oh, no.
He really does have technical difficulties.
Yeah, oh my god. Oh, he's back.
I know, my wife. There we go. We're back.
Okay.
You spoke it into existence.
For now.
Oh my god. What do you guys think? I'm actually curious. Like, who do you think for the Stanley Cup? Who's going head to head?
I mean, if we're picking our favorite teams, I'll say the Suns if you're going Devils. But I do think Vegas is going to be out of the West. And then out of the East, I think it's going to be Carolina.
Yeah.
I hate that
I mean, I'll go with Dallas out of the West. And then I don't know. I feel like Tampa's going to go on one more.
Really? I disagree with that.
I think Vasty's going to come back healthy.
Going to come back with like a broken back.
Probably from carrying them for the last couple of years, but no, I think Tampa could still make some noise.
That's actually so interesting hearing other people's like opinions. I mean, I know I hear them a lot, but like
I was gonna say, don't you literally interview people for their opinions?
No, I just don't listen. I don't care. I'm kidding.
I think Tampa's rested for the first time in 5 years, so they actually like have some fresh legs instead of having their season end in June for the past like 3 years before last year.
Dude, I don't think Tampa's depth is good. They're playing Austin Watson. Like, come on. What are we doing?
Gotta have that grit.
He is brutal.
Gotta have that grit. Someone's gotta have a fighter.
He's not a fighter. He's not even a fighter. He fought like maybe 4 times with Sens last year and lost all of them. He was brutal. That's why they let him go.
Gotta have somebody there to step up, though.
Austin Watson is like if I was supposed to be an enforcer. Dude cannot fight for his life.
Yeah, but Austin Watson's also a foot taller than you.
Yes.
Wait, how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
That's huge.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Not you know what I was anyway. Good talk. Now I'm like actually thinking about it because the whole like, can we just skip to the playoffs? Do you think if I just call Gary up?
Yeah. Sure.
See the script.
Can we please go to the playoffs? And can we move it earlier, please?
Can we just end like how the standings are right now so the Sens get first in the East?
No, actually no.
Really
They get second. I'm good with that.
The Sens would play the Leafs. That'd be fun. I want to see that.
Can I ask you guys a question? I know you're supposed to ask me, but what do you guys think about the Bruins this year? Like, what do you think? Do you think they're
I
gonna?
think they're missing the playoffs. I think they suck.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have any hope. Like,
Charlie Coyle and Pavel Zacha as your top six is not good. That is not good. You
you
cannot go to
said
the
that with a
playoffs with that.
smile. That is not good.
That is not a good hockey team. Take a look at their top six. It's so bad.
I wish this wasn't recording so I could tell you guys I have so many things that I know, but
I think the Bruins still make the playoffs. I think there's going to be a lot of 3-2, 2-1 type of games this year for them. Like they're going to
that's
be
what
more defensive focused. Like Allmark Swayman's a good tandem. I like the
Okay,
defensive
but
part
who
of
are they
it.
taking out of the playoffs then in the Atlantic? Who do you have in the Atlantic? I have Ottawa, Toronto, Tampa. Not in that order. I just have those three teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Matt, it's easily Carolina. I think Pittsburgh's coming in back
Okay.
in.
The Rangers.
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh?
Okay.
They're doing really well right now, yeah.
I'm respecting you.
Okay, they got
Erik Karlsson coming in.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. But
to Detroit last night.
Erik Karlsson is like
Luke.
like he's just Erik Karlsson. He's just not like if they didn't have him.
He's only the guy that won the Norris Trophy last year.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if they didn't have him, like
if they didn't have him, I don't think they'd make the playoffs. No, but they have him now. So
okay. I guess that's fair. I guess
he's a make or break kind of guy. He can make
You gotta put the Rangers as the third, probably.
Yeah, the Rangers. Agree.
I hate the Rangers with my heart and soul. And
then those last two teams, I think it's going to be the Devils, and I think it's going to be the Islanders. The Islanders are boring, but Sorokin is so good.
well,
See, I think Boston gets in over the Islanders.
Yeah, you think they'll be a wild card there?
Yeah.
It'll come down to Sorokin. It'll come down to can Charlie Cole and Pavel Zacha maintain a top six while still scoring like less than 30 points, probably.
Again, it's gonna be a lot of 2-1, 3-2 type of games. The Boston Bruins may be the new New York Islanders.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. I'm like I feel like the Islanders are just like there. At least the Bruins are kind of like interesting. And we have like we have Pasta, right?
Austin and Marshy will have to put up
I'm hanging
a lot
in
of
there.
points.
Shout out my roommate Bailey for taking Pasternak third overall in fantasy over like McKinnon, Matthews. That was crazy.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like we're getting very off track. It's going to turn out to like an hour episode. So when we end it, we usually give the floor back to the guests. So if there's anything, a message you want to say, a question you want to ask, anything really at all to sport media and anything we've been talking about, you have the floor to end the episode.
I just want to say get into hockey. It's 100,000% worth it. And if you need someone to guide you and not make fun of you and not ask you to name 5 players, I'm here. I will not do any of that. And it's 100% worth it because once you're in the community, you have friends everywhere. Like you will just make all these connections and it is so worth it. That's my note for people.
Pretty good note.
Thanks. I try.
I don't know when I muted myself. All right. Amazing. So thank you to everyone for watching episode 3 of season 5. We'll leave Mia's podcast and social as well in the description there. Go check her out. As always, subscribe, follow along, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.